Hi everyone, welcome back to Kate Harris Consulting. I want to talk today about a bit of a controversial topic. It's something that actually doesn't serve me to talk about, but it's true, and I want to explain why. And the topic is simple. If you've clicked on the video, you see the topic. Why you shouldn't hire a web designer. It was really simple, because here's the thing: when you hire a web designer, they're going to build you a really beautiful site, and there's going to be a lot of backwards and forwards of you exchanging information and messaging each other and stuff like that, and it could take time. Primarily it will be due to you, the end client, and I don't mean it to be me, but because as a web designer myself, when I want to build a website for somebody and I'm in the middle of it, it's chasing for information, and it's always me asking them for stuff, and then they take time to get the stuff over because they've got busy lives and stuff like that. So it can drag out. It can be a long old experience when you're like trying to build a website for someone, and so if you hire a web designer, this is what fate lies ahead of you, is there's going to be a lot of chit chat between you both, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that if that's how you want to roll with it and that's how you want to do it. But why you shouldn't hire one is simple. I'm going to give you a really good reason. Because yes, they'll build you a really nice website, hopefully, and hopefully it won't take forever, and you won't have to go backwards and forwards 1,001 times, but you probably will. But ultimately, they're going to build your site. You're going to be happy with it, and it's all going to be gravy, right? Well, okay, but what happens if something should go wrong on your website at some point down the line? Like, part exemplar, it's all built and you're happy with it and everyone's happy, and then a year goes by and you don't realise that your website's just crashed, it's gone down. And what do? Okay, so your website's down, you're going to call your web designer back up and be like, hey, my website's down, can you fix it? And then they don't answer for a really long time. Maybe they've changed careers now. Maybe they have got an emergency, they've got a family emergency, maybe someone in their family needs them or a friend needs them, and they're not able to do anything. They can't help you for 3 weeks. They're not going to be able to touch you for free. Meanwhile, your clients can't find your website. You're losing business. You're not looking good right now because your website's not up and running, and you don't know how to fix it because you didn't build it. You don't know what the problem is. You don't even know how to log into the back end of your website because you didn't build it. And so I believe that you're better off, everyone's better off learning how to build a website themselves instead of hiring somebody, because you've got to depend on that person to be around should something go wrong. And then, if something does go wrong, and then you say to them, okay, can you fix it? If you get hold of them, they're gonna charge you for that, right? Like, they're not gonna do it for free. They're not gonna be like, oh yeah, sure, no, I can fix it, yeah. No, they're gonna charge you. So not only might you have to wait for I don't know how long for them to come back to you, depending on if they've got something going on, or have they changed careers, or do they have an emergency going on, and then they're still going to charge you. Let's say something does go wrong with your site, yeah, and then okay, your web designer's available and they're not having an emergency, and they are available and they can do it quickly. Okay, but they're going to charge you £500 though, let's say, to get your website back online, because it's their time and whatnot, which is a fair price, nothing wrong with charging it. But you're out £500 because you don't know how to do it yourself. So I always believe in the power of learning a new skill myself, if I can, where possible. I'm not going to go out there and teach myself something that wouldn't be useful and practical, like, I don't know, I can't even think, but like taming animals in the wild, like, it'd be useless to me to know this skill. Like, I'm not going to need to be able to tame an animal in the wild. That's a pointless skill. But building a website isn't a pointless skill, because once you know how to build a website, you can build a billion websites if you want, and your skills only going to get better and better and better. So I wanted to point this out, and it does affect me. For me to say this and for people to see this, you'd be like, what do you mean? But you're a web designer, Kate. Yeah, I know. Are you trying to lose business? No, not really. But I am pointing it out that you are better off learning, because I'll tell you for why as well. When I build websites for my clients, they often then say to me, "Oh, I want to learn how it works. How do I do this? Or how do I, if I want to upload some new videos, if I want to create a new post, or like how do I do that stuff?" And so I'll inevitably like create a little video and teach them. But ultimately, like, they just want to learn how to do it themselves. They don't need to hire me. They could just learn how to do it. And so yeah, it's a shame that my course that I created wasn't a thing when I had those clients, because ultimately those clients have now asked me enough times, and I've made enough videos that I've essentially created a course for them so they can learn how to use the back end of their website. But now that I have created a course and it's out there, this is my job now, is to try and find people in the world who actually want to learn, because there are people who want to learn. There's always people who want to learn how to do stuff. And if I create a course and then don't say anything about it to anybody, I'm doing an injustice by saying nothing, because then people are never going to find it. And then what happens? They'll be like, "Oh man, I really wish I found a course I could." I'm telling you now. This is why I'm here. So yeah, I just wanted to point out that you really don't need to hire somebody. You could hire somebody, but what happens if something goes wrong? What happens when you're like, "Oh, I really want to do that, but now I'm going to have to, you know, pay Kate all this extra money for her to do it for me"? Yeah, that's kind of how it works. But when you know how to do it yourself, you don't have to do that. You can just be like, "Oh, I know how to build a website. I've done that before. Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's pretty straightforward." So with my course, which is linked below, by the way, if you are interested and you'd like to enrol, it's called the Mumpreneur Web Design Academy, and it's really cool. It's really, really cool. The course itself is going to teach anybody how to build a website on WordPress. Okay, so you could be a complete noob. You've never touched WordPress before. You might be terrified of WordPress. You might be scared of code. You might be like, don't look at it. It doesn't matter. It's so I've really made it so straightforward and so easily digestible that I promise you anybody could do it. I might actually I might show this course to my little boy. He's 8 years old. I might see if he follows my course, can he build a website, just to prove that anybody could do it, because I reckon he could do it. He's not, he's a clever boy. But yes, the course is there to teach anybody who wants to learn how to build a WordPress website. And the cool thing about it is that when I had to build websites myself once upon a time, I had to teach myself, I had to work it all out, and it was horrible. It was horrible. It was so stressful, and I had no support. I had no one available to ask questions or anything like that. And so when I built this, I was like, okay, we can't do that. I want to make sure that when I build this course, that there's going to be a lot of support, because I don't want people to I don't want it to be, okay, well, you buy my course and then learn how to build a website and see you later. Goodbye forever. Like, no, I want to help. And this is all I'm here to do, is trying to help other people, because I know what it's like when you really want to do something yourself, but you just don't know how, and then that's when you succumb to just hiring someone to do it for you, outsource the job, but you never learn the skill, and then when something goes wrong, you're like, oh, what do I do? And then you can't get hold of it. It's like hiring a plumber to do something in your home, I suppose, isn't it? Like a basic thing. I don't mean like a big old like plumbing job for the whole home. I mean like just like a little, well, you could just like, it's probably a YouTube video you could find it on, instead of hiring someone. So yes, I built this course in mind with that. I wanted to make sure that there was an enormous amount of support, because I know what it's like when you've got loads of questions and there's no one there to answer, and then you just feel alone in the world, and you just want to curl up in a ball and cry because you don't understand, why is WordPress doing the thing it's doing? Why won't my plugin work? Why this? Why that? It's horrible. So I've made sure there's loads of support. So there's like Q&A calls, there's private Facebook group, WhatsApp group. You can get hold of me whenever you want if you've got questions, because I know what it's like. And then it's not just during the course as well. It's not like, okay, you've built your website and Kate's answered all your questions. Okay, cool. And then that's it. Kate's going to kick you out now. No. You're here for life. So, because the thing is, again, I understand that when you've got a WordPress site, things are going to change. I had a site once. I hadn't looked at it for I don't know, maybe a week, probably a week, right? and I'm just like doing my own little thing, my la 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 in my own little world. And then I went on my website, and it was down, and I noticed it was down because I did get a notification, and that's when I had a look. And I was like, what the bejesus? I haven't even touched this website. Why have you broken? And it was a big old job of trying to figure it all out. And I didn't know who to ask. I didn't have a web designer or a developer that I could call on. I didn't know who to speak to. I didn't know what the problem was. I didn't even know where to start looking to try and figure out what the problem was. And it didn't break and crash because of anything I'd done. It had just done it all by itself. It has its own mind sometimes. But I fixed it because I worked it out, whatever, it was all sorted. But that's the sort of thing. I know that later down the line something might go wrong, and then so that's why I've got you. When you buy my course and you enroll, you will get lifetime support. Okay, like it's not just for the duration of your website build, because you might want to build another website down the road for whatever reason. You might like this website that you build, you might build this one, you're like, oh, I love this website, and then I don't know, 2 months later you might get itchy feet and you might want to build another one. You might have started to enjoy it, like I did. You get the itch and you got to just build some more websites. So the course is designed to help you along. So you can build as many websites with this as you want, and it's a really nice course. I'm not somebody, by the way, who's had like 30 years of web design experience on WordPress. This is important we know this. I'm just a regular person who's spent many years now, I want to say about 7 or 6 years building websites on WordPress, working it out, trial and error, tears and pain and stress and all the things. To the point where it's like, oh, I get it. It's finally clicked. Now I understand. And so whenever I build a website now, none of it hurts, none of it's painful, and I want that for you guys. So because I know how horrible it is when you want to build something, you just don't have the foggiest. You don't have a clue what to do with it. You don't have there's no one around to help you. You can't ask any questions. And I know you could just say, all right, well, do you know what, Kate? I'm gonna follow a video on YouTube and I'm gonna build a website that way. You could do that, yeah, you could do that. But then what happens when you run into a problem is that you'll find, and you're welcome to explore this if you want. If you ask a question, because you're stuck on something, they're not really going to respond. Unless it's maybe a new video, maybe if it's like less than a couple of weeks old, they might still respond to you. But how long is it going to take you to finish building the website? Just because their video is 4 hours long doesn't mean you're going to take 4 hours to do it. You might take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month. Depends on your schedule. Are they still answering your questions then? Are they answering every question? Is everybody in the chat quite confused as they follow along? You've got to look at these things. I've built this course because I care, because honest to God, I love WordPress and I care. And so I want to make sure that anybody who wants to learn how to build a WordPress website is going to get all the love in the world from me and lots of time and attention, because I know how stressful it can be when you don't really know and you've never really done it before. So it really is a hand-holding situation. So when you buy the course, you can go through all the modules. I want to say there are 7, top of my head, yes. And I'll hold your hand throughout the whole thing. That's why we've got the Q&A calls twice a week. We've got the private Facebook group, we've got the private WhatsApp group. You can message me day or night. If I'm awake, I'll answer you. If I'm sleeping, bear with. Okay, but I will answer you quickly. And then we've got a lifetime support as well after that. And then at the end of the course, because I still know that even you can go through a course, and because I've done courses before, and I've gone through it and I've listened and I've done my thing and and then I get to the end of it and I'm like, okay, I'm still a bit stuck there. Actually, I'm not sure. So what do I do now? And then it all starts getting confusing and jumbling. I mean, the idea is a follow along. It is a follow along type of course, so you should be following along. But if you get to the point where you finish the course and you're struggling to keep up or follow along, or something just came up and for some reason you can't finish building your website, that's okay. I'm not going to let you leave without a website. You just have to let me know, okay? You just drop me a message. Say, Kate, something's come up, I can't finish my website, I'm really struggling, would you be able to help me out? And I'll say, yeah. and I will finish your website for you. I won't charge you anything extra. I won't charge you a penny extra for that. I just need you to send me the stuff that you want to go on the website, and as long as I've got it, I could get it done in a couple of days for you, and it's done. And then you've got a website, and you still have lifetime support from me. Okay, you still would know how to build a website. You'd still understand everything, and you've got a finished website to show to everybody on top of that. I mean, it's a pretty sweet deal, isn't it? And did I say lifetime access? To me, maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. I don't know. But that is, I think it's better to learn. You know the whole saying, teach a man to fish. I prefer that. I always prefer to learn a new skill if I can. Because depending on somebody else is a problem. I don't like depending on people, because people can let us down sometimes, and that's okay, because they've got their own world, they've got their own life. I get it. But if I need to do something on my website, the last thing I want to do is to have to depend on somebody, especially if they're not reliable or they're in an emergency situation that I don't know about. So I prefer to learn personally, and I know I'm not the only one. There's people out there. You people are my people. So come over, sit down, take a minute. Yeah, there's a link down below. Okay. The link is going to take you to my page where you can enrol on the course. At the minute, the first 10 students to enrol will get a 50% discount, okay, which is astonishing. It's a really low price for what you're going to get. And even at full price, it's a really good price for what you're going to get, because you're getting a lifetime skill out of this. It's not just something you can use one time only and that's it. And then it's good, and then and the good thing about my course as well is that I'm going to update it regularly, because that's another thing I've noticed about courses, is that you enroll in a course, you're like, it's great, I'm learning the thing, and then you get round to but maybe that course is a couple of years old, right? And then you get to do the thing that they're doing, and it's a follow along bit, and then you go and click on the thing just as they're clicking on the thing. But that thing doesn't exist anymore, because the page has been updated, the system's been updated, the plugin has changed, the logo has changed, it's no longer compatible with the WordPress website. And so that drives me potty personally when I have a course and they're like, yeah, do the thing, and then I'm like, great, because I think it's all fresh and new, not realising that course has been out for years and everything's changed since then. So it drives me potty. So I've made sure that my course is a course I'm going to be consistently updating. Okay, so if things on the course start to become out of date for some reason, which they will, because it's WordPress and it's the internet, I'm going to make sure it's updated as well, because again, it's important. Otherwise you're learning something that is obsolete, and we don't need to learn obsolete, we need to learn current. It's important, isn't it? So yes, although I don't have 30 years of WordPress experience building websites, I do know how to build a really good, strong website on WordPress, and I care. I really care. I love WordPress and I really care. And that's why I want to make sure that you've got so much help, so much support, and so much guidance as well, because I know what it's like. So before you consider hiring somebody to build a website for your business or your wedding or a project that you've got going on, stop. Maybe just learn instead. It's really not hard. WordPress is not that hard. Once you know how to do it, I swear to God, it's so easy, it's not even funny. So yeah, guys, that's it for this video topic. I just wanted to say, don't hire, even me, don't hire me. Just buy the course instead, because you'll learn a lifetime skill. If you really don't want to learn a skill, then fine, hire someone, but be it on you, be it on your head. If some sort of family emergency comes up and then you're like, oh, what do I do? I'll tell you a story. Last year, shortly after I'd finished building this course and creating it, my mum went into hospital, and shortly after she went into hospital, I thought we were fine. Actually, I thought, oh, she'll be out. She'll be out in a couple of days. She'll be fine. But no, she was in there for 2 weeks and then she died, which was horrible. It's heartbreaking. But just before she went into hospital, I agreed to build a website for somebody, a really good friend of mine, and I felt terrible for her, because I was like, I can't do anything. I'm broken right now. I've just lost my mum. I can't build a website right now. I've got to organise her funeral. I've got to speak to all the people. I can't remember who I spoke to. So many people. I had so many calls. I had to, like, but my point is that it threw me out of whack for months. Like, one death in the family. And so that's why I'm saying, like, yeah, you can hire someone, but what if something, you don't know what's about to happen in their world, and you don't know what's about to happen in yours. I know that. But at least if you're in a course and you do have to take a break, you can take a break and you can come back to it. Whereas you don't know with a web developer or a web designer, if you hire one, well, what could happen in their future? Do you know unless you've got a really good crystal ball, you won't know. And you're being dependent on them. You're not learning for yourself. You're not being self-sufficient because you've just given it to someone else to do. And I just don't know that it's necessary. WordPress isn't that difficult. If you're talking about hiring a solicitor and outsourcing that job to someone, yes, you probably should. Unless you know everything about the law, you probably should do that. That would be smart. If you're, you know, I don't know, considering something else, is like, okay, a pilot. You need a pilot. You're not gonna you know, if you've got a plane, you're not going to like fly it yourself unless you know how everything there is to know about flying a plane. You're not going to do it yourself. You're going to find a professional who knows what they're doing. There are jobs you should outsource. This is not one of them. That's my point. You should build it yourself. Okay, you should learn to do it yourself. It's much better. And more importantly, the really good thing about building your own website on WordPress is achieving it yourself, all by yourself. It's not easy. Like, when you first look at WordPress and you first look at it and you're like, whoa, what the heck? What have I got myself in for? And it looks really confusing because you've never seen it before. And there's lots of things to click on and you don't know what any of them mean, and it's a bit much. And so when you overcome that and then you build a website and you're like, oh my god, did I just do that? Oh, my website's finished and I did it all myself and it's amazing. I'm so proud of myself. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you won't get that when someone's built a website. When they've done it for you, you'll be like, look, they did a website. Yay, it looks cool. I mean, I probably would have done that and I would have done that, but they only gave me so many revisions to play with, so, you know, I guess it's fine. I'm going to have to pay them more money if I want to change it, and I'm not going to do that. But when you learn how to build it yourself, you can change it anytime you want. You can change all the things. You can rebuild it 1,001 times over if you want to, because it's your website that you've learned how to build. No one can take it away from you. So just a food for thought, guys, because, you know, why hire someone? Even me, why hire me? I mean, you could hire me, but don't. Learn. Teach yourself. Teach yourself. Never stop learning. Piece of advice my granddad gave. Last thing he said to me. I tell you my sub stories in my life. But I'm telling you, like, he said that, and he was right. Like, never stop learning. Always keep learning. And he was right. And you should too. So if you're thinking about, I need a website for this thing, for whatever it is, I don't know what it is, you know what it is, but I need a website. Alright, learn how to build one, enroll in my course, and if you're quick you can get in on the 50% discount, okay? It's only for the first 10 of you, so I would hurry. But yeah, even if you sit on it for a bit, you know, but I wouldn't. If you want to learn to build a website, do it. If you've got the fire under you and you're like ready to go, do it. And I promise you, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. The course is fun as well. Lots of giggles. I'm lots of giggles. And I'm lovely as well. I'm going to be so nice to you guys. It'll be so nice to meet you all when you do enroll. And I can really help you because I know what it's like. And I wish I had help. I really, really do. But then all it's done, I suppose, is strengthen me to work it all out myself and to cry all those tears and stress all that time. It's fine. You know, some of us have to go through the pain so we can help others that don't, so they don't have to. So definitely think about it, guys. If you're ready to build a website, don't even think about it. Ignore that last. That's silly. Just enroll in the course, okay? Because when would now be a good time, huh? Like, enroll in the course. Learn how to build a website. Let me show you. Let me teach you. Let me help you. Let me be here for you. Let me guide you through it. Let me guide you through it. Honestly, we have so much fun together, and you're going to walk out with the best website and the biggest smile on your face. You'll be grinning from ear to ear, I promise. Yeah, that's it for this video. I know I just said that about 20,000 minutes ago. I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions, drop me a comment. If you want to enroll, just go for it. If you've got questions about the course, you can drop me a comment as well, or you can drop me an email. All the details are in the description somewhere, the community tab. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Yeah, I want to talk some more WordPress with you guys. So I'll see you then, and have an amazing rest of your day, whatever time of day it is where you are.